It's getting to be that time of year again. It's getting to be springtime. And what do we think of when we think of spring? Spring flowers? Sure. Renewal, rebirth. What else? Spring cleaning? Everyone's favorite. Sure. Well, along with spring cleaning, maybe you're thinking of getting a pressure washer. And if so, maybe you'd like to consider what is the difference between the light duty commercial and commercial pressure washers. So that's what we'll be discussing in this video.
And why the one costs $320 and the other costs $740. Why is it such a difference? At first look, they appear to be similar. They both have gas engines connected to a pump, high pressure hose, all mounted on a wheeled cart. The biggest difference is the lifespan. One, the light duty has roughly 500 to 800 hour lifespan expectancy. The commercial duty has 10 times that, or thousands of hours. So that's a big difference. And it's also bared out in the warranty. The warranty for the commercial unit is 5 years on the unit and 3 years on the engine. The warranty on the home or light duty unit is 90 days. Looking a little closer, we can see some typical differences. The pump on the light duty unit is an axial pump. It looks like a cylinder. It's parallel, the cylinder is parallel to the crankshaft. And in this engine, the crankshaft is vertical, and the pump is parallel to that. In the commercial unit, we have a more square pump here with 3 cylinders.
The triplex or 3-cylinder pump is more efficient than the axial pump because it uses a crankshaft. So it's almost about 90% efficient, whereas the axial pump requires return spring for each piston. So every time the engine pushes the piston, it also has to push the return spring. The axial pump also it has a large rotating mass, which is harder to cool and harder to balance than the triplex. The typical the triplex pump also has higher pressure ability, typically greater than 3,000 psi. And the triplex is economical and easy to replace the valves on. The axial typically just replace the pump when it goes bad. On the light duty pressure washer, the engine is also lighter duty than the commercial duty engine. One of the differences is that ball bearings are used on commercial engine crankshafts versus plain bearings on a light duty engine. A light duty engine would also have probably a plain aluminum cylinder, whereas you'd have a steel cylinder in a commercial duty engine. The difference between the ratings on these two pressure washers, on the light duty it's 2.4 gallons per minute versus 2.5 gallons per minute on the heavy duty. Not a big difference there. The pressure is fair difference at 2,500 for the light duty and 3,600 psi for the heavy duty. Those two ratings are multiplied together to get cleaning units, which is a little more comprehensive measure of their ability to clean. So if we multiply 2.4 for the light duty by 2,500 psi, we get 6,000 cleaning units. And for the commercial unit, we get 9,000 cleaning units. And that's basically just the efficiency and how fast you can clean things. You know, the light duty will clean things fine. It just take a little longer than the high pressure of the commercial unit. Also, in commercial units, you know, this is not the ultimate example of a commercial unit. They have higher priced ones with more features. And one of those features could be a belt drive between the engine and the pump to reduce vibration and also to reduce the speed of the pump, which would extend the pump life by keeping its temperature lower and the speed of rotation slower and reduce vibration, as I mentioned. So why do I have two pressure washers now? Am I a hoarder? No, not a hoarder. Not quite. I do have too much stuff. But what happened was I was looking for, well, hoping to find a commercial duty pressure washer because I know the, the light duty ones a lot of times, you know, the pumps give up way before the engine. And if I was going to buy a used one, which is what I was looking at, I just didn't really want to take the chance. So that's what I was looking for, and I came across the light duty one, and it was such a good deal, and it had hardly been used at all, that I said, well, you know, the chances of me finding a good deal on a commercial unit probably not that good because commercial units frequently get used to death. And by the time they're ready to get rid of them, they're just worn out, or they're just crazy expensive, and you know, not really practical for the home. Uh, so when I came across the great deal on the home model, I said, well, I better just get it. And it wasn't actually working at the time. It wouldn't pump, but it wasn't. I wasn't too concerned about that. I thought I would give a chance to fix it because it really wasn't that much money. And the other thing that made it probably a good deal was that it was winter time, and that's really the off season for pressure washers, and they tend to be more of a seasonal item. So if you're looking for a bargain, that's usually a good time to do it, is when they're not as much in demand. So I bought that one and I fixed it, and I was pretty happy about that. And only a couple days later, I discovered this commercial one, the Ryobi, uh, and that was a super deal, owned by a homeowner, so it really wasn't used commercially at all. And he even said that he hardly used it at all himself. Uh, he was just moving, and he didn't have a use for it, and he didn't want to take it with him. So that's what happened. I couldn't resist that one. I said, "Well, that's a really great deal, and I'll never have to worry about it wearing out on me." So that's why I have two. So the red one's for sale, and I'm going to sell it this year and get myself back down to one.